Let me just tell you something. I'm a founder, and you can't tell somebody that did all those things to do it different. If I wouldn't have done it the way I did it, there would be no Jay-Z. I'm going to say this, and you ask Jay-Z anytime, there would be no Jay-Z as a rapper if it wasn't for me. He wasn't trying to do it.
He wasn't trying to rap?
No, he was trying. He was rapping with jazz. He had stopped completely. He was hustling.
Man, this one right here, it's one of the deepest betrayals in hip-hop history. A story that still stings to this day. The fall of Damon Dash and Jay-Z ain't just about money or fame. It's about loyalty, trust, and how power can destroy brotherhood when the industry steps in. For years, people been talking about what went down inside Roc-A-Fella Records. But recently, Dame himself finally broke his silence and laid it all out. The real reason behind his beef with Jay-Z. And let's just say the truth hits harder than any rumor ever could. To really understand this, you gotta go back to the 1990s. When Dame Dash, Jay-Z, and Kareem Biggs Burke built Roc-A-Fella from the ground up. Back then, nobody wanted to sign Jay. Labels didn't see the vision. They said he was too street, too laid back, too Brooklyn. So Dame, being the hustler he is, said forget it. We'll do it ourselves. They started selling CDs out the trunk, throwing parties, and building a movement one block at a time. That independent grind became the blueprint for what every rapper today calls owning your masters and keeping your freedom. But the crazy thing? That same independence that made them powerful also became the reason they fell apart. See, from day one, Dame Dash was the loud one. The businessman with the bravado, the one calling out record execs, protecting the artists, and keeping Jay shielded from the snakes in the suits. He was the energy behind the empire. Jay was the calm assassin. Strategic, focused, always thinking 3 steps ahead. That balance worked at first. Dame handled the streets and the business, Jay handled the music. But once reasonable doubt dropped in '96 and the money started rolling in, that's when things started shifting. Dame said in his interview, when money comes in, you start seeing who people really are.
Do you ever feel sorry for Damon Dash, man? Whenever you hear about like his financial problems and things like that.
Nah, Dame's a hustler. Dame will figure it out. Like, Dame, very smart guy, you know, so he'll figure it out.
By the early 2000s, Roc-A-Fella wasn't just a label, it was a kingdom. They had Kanye West, Cameron, Beanie Siegel, Memphis Bleak, and a whole army of talent. Dame was signing artists left and right, trying to expand the brand beyond just Jay. He wanted Roc-A-Fella Films, Roc-A-Wear Clothing, Roc-A-Fella Sports. He was thinking bigger. But Jay, he wanted something different. He wanted control, total control. And that's where the cracks started to show. Dame said it best. I wasn't fighting Jay over money. I was fighting over principle. What most fans didn't know at the time was that Jay-Z had started making quiet moves behind the scenes. While Dame was busy building the brand, Jay was meeting with executives over at Def Jam, the same corporate machine they'd once fought against. According to Dame, Jay started negotiating without telling him, talking about ownership, distribution, and leadership positions. He was planning his solo chess move while Dame still thought they were playing on the same team. So when Def Jam offered Jay the presidency, that's when everything changed. Dame said, I found out through the news. That's how I knew it was real. That moment was the beginning of the end. Dame felt betrayed, not because Jay took the job, but because he took it without loyalty. They'd built a movement based on independence, on never bowing down to the system. And now Jay was literally joining the system they'd fought to stay out of. Dame said, he didn't just take the deal, he took it from right under us. He felt like Jay sold him out, like the brother he'd helped build into a mogul had traded their brotherhood for corporate power. But here's where it gets even deeper. Dame revealed that while all this was happening, Jay was also making moves to separate himself from Roc-A-Fella's other artists. See, Dame believed in everyone. In Cameron, in Beanie Siegel, in Kanye, in Dipset. He wanted to keep the family strong. But Jay, he started distancing himself. He didn't want to carry the weight of the whole roster. He wanted a clean slate, one that didn't include Dame's voice in his ear. And just like that, Roc-A-Fella split. Jay took his masters, his name, and his connections. Dame was left with the pieces, the artists, the office, the memories. But no matter how the media spun it, Dame said it wasn't about envy. It was about loyalty. He said, "I fought for Jay when nobody believed in him. I protected him when the industry tried to play him. I made sure nobody disrespected him, ever. And the one time I needed him to ride for me, he didn't." That line hit hard because it came from a place of pain, not hate. You could tell Dame wasn't bitter, he was disappointed. He wasn't mad that Jay made it. He was mad that Jay left him behind. And for a man like Dame, built on pride and loyalty, that cut deep. That's where the real beef began. Not in the boardroom, not in the money, but in the betrayal. And once trust is gone, there's no rebuilding it.
Why did it go left?
It didn't go left.
Okay, it didn't go left.
Why you think it went left?
Hold on.
What are you talking about? Roc-A-Fella?
Roc-A-Fella.
I'll go it.
The perception of why Roc-A-Fella ended is different. You're aware of this.
It's because Jay did what he did. He didn't want to pay $3. He made a move on his friends. It is what it is, bro. I don't want to talk about that.
No. All I'm saying is the perception of why Roc-A-Fella ended is not that Dame Dash wanted to move on and do something different. That's not, I believe you, that's not the perception.
Who cares?
But you're aware of that.
Sometimes you got to Machiavelli yourself to be left alone.
Once the cracks started showing, it didn't take long for the whole empire to crumble. Dame Dash and Jay-Z had gone from being brothers to business rivals, and the world watched it happen in real time. The tension started quietly behind closed doors, but eventually spilled into the public eye. The same men who built Roc-A-Fella Records on loyalty and street unity were now avoiding each other in meetings, moving in silence, and letting lawyers talk instead of brothers. Dame said, "It was like watching my best friend turn into a stranger, right in front of me." The turning point came around the Roc-A-Wear situation, the fashion line that Dame and Jay co-founded in 1999. That brand wasn't just about clothes, it was about culture. Roc-A-Wear became the uniform of the streets. From Harlem to Compton, everybody wanted that rock logo, but behind the scenes, that partnership was just as divided as the label. Dame handled the creative and cultural side, while Jay was making corporate connections, negotiating with investors, and aligning himself with big brands. Eventually, Jay sold Roc-A-Wear to Iconic's brand group for over $200 million. But here's the twist. Dame said he wasn't even properly informed about the sale. He said Jay maneuvered the deal in a way that left him out of the bigger profit split. In his words, "I built that brand from the ground up, and they sold it without my blessing." It was deja vu all over again. Another power play where Jay came out on top, and Dame walked away feeling like the loyalty he gave wasn't returned. And to make matters worse, that sale became the final nail in the coffin for Roc-A-Fella. Meanwhile, the artists started picking sides. Kanye West, who'd been brought in under Dame's wing, started gravitating toward Jay. Cameron stayed loyal to Dame, but the label politics made things messy. Beanie Siegel started speaking out, saying he felt abandoned by both sides. Roc-A-Fella went from being a family to a fractured company full of silent tension and unspoken resentment. The dynasty that once ruled the game started eating itself from the inside.
He was definitely playing your album and on Instagram.
Yeah, did you see that video?
Bittersweet.
Nah, I didn't see it.
He was in the barbershop, bobbing his head crazy to it. He said he liked it. He said he felt like he was a part of that. He knows you're telling the truth.
I feel like, what people gotta understand, I mean, nothing gonna change the way I feel about Damon. No matter, no time or space, no separation or anything. I got love for Damon Dash the same way as I did before.
And here's the wild part. Even through all this, Dame still defended Jay publicly for years. He refused to throw dirt on him, even when people asked about the split. But the more time passed, the clearer it became. Jay was never coming back. He had moved on to Def Jam, became president, and used that position to relaunch his career and build Roc Nation, his own empire. Dame, on the other hand, stayed independent, still fighting for ownership, still preaching about freedom. He said, "I didn't lose Jay-Z, I lost a partner, but I kept my soul." By the mid-2000s, Jay was everywhere, on magazine covers and suits, making billion-dollar moves. Dame was out here hustling his own ventures, films, fashion, art galleries, and startups. But the industry made its choice. Corporate America embraced Jay-Z and left Dame labeled as difficult. Every time Dame walked into a meeting, people already had their opinions. He said, "They blackballed me because I wouldn't bow down. I ain't built for that system. I'm built for revolution." The beef got worse when interviews and documentaries started painting Dame as the villain, the loudmouth who ruined Roc-A-Fella, the guy who couldn't play nice in corporate spaces. But when you listen to him talk, you realize he's not angry. He's wounded. He said, "They made me the bad guy because I wouldn't let them disrespect my people. I was the shield. I was the voice. And when I stopped protecting them, they all flipped." Fans started choosing sides too. Some said Jay was smart for outgrowing Dame, that he had to evolve to become the mogul he is now. Others said Jay sold out, traded loyalty for legacy, left the man who helped him rise just to please the same execs they once fought against. Either way, the bond was gone. They both won in business, but lost in brotherhood. By the late 2000s, Dame Dash had fully embraced being the underdog. He went from the loud executive in meetings to the outspoken rebel of the industry. He wasn't trying to fit in anymore. He wanted to call out the system that he believed destroyed Roc-A-Fella from within. In interviews, Dame said it clear as day. "Jay ain't my enemy, the industry is." But over time, even he admitted that Jay played a part in how things went down. One of the biggest moments that reopened old wounds came when Jay-Z gave interviews downplaying Dame's role in his come-up. Jay started acting like he was the mastermind behind Roc-A-Fella, leaving Dame and Biggs out of the story. That's when Dame started firing back publicly. He said, "Don't rewrite history. I put up the money. I took the risk. I was the one who kicked the doors open. Don't act like I was just the loud guy in the room." See, Dame ain't the type to sugarcoat anything. He's always spoken with emotion, pride, and honesty, sometimes too much for the business world to handle. He'd call out execs by name, expose shady deals, and warn artists not to fall into the same traps he once did. And that's where Jay and Dame truly split ideologically. Jay learned how to play the corporate game. Dame wanted to destroy it. Jay believed in moving in silence. Dame believed in fighting loud. Two different strategies, same goal. But when those philosophies collide, somebody always ends up feeling betrayed. Dame said one of the hardest things to accept was how Jay allowed people around him to disrespect him after the split. He said, "All I wanted was acknowledgement, not money, just the truth." But instead of reconciliation, Jay kept his distance. Even when people like Kanye West tried to reunite them, it never worked. Dame said he tried to reach out, but every time it got close, Jay pulled back. To Dame, that proved his point, that Jay didn't want to heal, he wanted to erase. But despite all that, Dame never denied Jay's brilliance. He's always said, "Jay's one of the best to ever do it. I just wish he remembered who helped him become that." It's complicated love, the kind that only comes from years of brotherhood. You can hear it in his voice. He don't hate Jay. He misses the old Jay, the one who used to walk into rooms with him and say, "We don't need them. They need us." In one interview, Dame said something powerful. "Jay chased being a billionaire. I chased being free. We both got what we wanted." That line hit home for a lot of fans because it shows two different paths to success. Jay became the model of corporate success, partnerships with NFL, luxury brands, and global influence. Dame became the blueprint for independence, owning everything he touches, even if it means taking losses. And that's what makes their story so legendary. It's not just about who was right or wrong, it's about the price of power. Both men got what they wanted, but they lost each other in the process. Now, almost 25 years later, the story of Dame Dash and Jay-Z still feels unfinished. Whenever Dame speaks, you can hear the pain behind the pride. Whenever Jay gets asked about Dame, he avoids it like a wound he don't want to reopen. But time has made it clear, both men shaped hip-hop forever. They built more than a label. They built a movement. Roc-A-Fella showed the world that you didn't need a record deal to make history. It was black excellence before the corporations tried to brand it. Recently, in his latest interviews, Dame said he's not mad anymore. He's just disappointed. He said, "If we was really brothers, why we never talked like men? Why we letting the media tell our story?" That's the part that hurts most. He ain't looking for beef. He's looking for closure. But Jay's silence says everything. Maybe Jay feels it's better to leave the past in the past, or maybe he knows he did his brother dirty. Either way, the distance between them is proof that sometimes success comes with casualties. What's wild is that the culture still divides itself the same way. You got people who move like Jay, quiet, strategic, business first, and you got people who move like Dame, loud, fearless, hard over profit. But truthfully, the industry needs both. Without Dame's energy, there would be no Roc-A-Fella. Without Jay's vision, there'd be no Roc Nation. The tragedy is that they couldn't coexist in the same world. But here's where it gets poetic. Even without speaking, they both still reflect each other. Jay learned Dame's hustler mentality and used it to dominate the business world. Dame learned Jay's focus and applied it to his independence. So even though the friendship died, the blueprint survived. You can see their fingerprints in every new artist who talks about ownership and power today. Dame said it best in one of his realest quotes. "I taught him how to fish. Then he sold the pond." That one line explains the whole thing. He gave Jay the tools, but once Jay got control, he didn't look back. That's what makes their story timeless. It's bigger than rap. It's about ambition versus loyalty. At the end of the day, Dame Dash and Jay-Z are two sides of the same coin. One taught us how to fight for independence. The other taught us how to win inside the system. Both carved their names into history, but the cost was brotherhood. And that's why this story still resonates. It's not just about what they built, it's about what they lost along the way. So yeah, Dame might never forgive Jay, and Jay might never apologize. But one thing's for sure, without Roc-A-Fella, the game wouldn't be what it is today. They changed the rules, inspired generations, and showed that black men could own, lead, and conquer. The tragedy? They just couldn't stay united long enough to enjoy it together.